Check. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Hey y'all. Hey.
What's going on? How we doing this evening? This evening.
Are we check check?
We're here. We're loud and clear.
Coach, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. We live. We live. Here. Skirt. We here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What's going on, world? Hey y'all. Hey America. Hey world. Hey young world. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? That's hella loud. Turn that down. My
Yes,
bad. My bad.
yes, sir.
What's going on,
What's
y'all?
going on? Talk to me. What's going on with you, sis? How was your day?
Great day. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, world. Welcome, America. Welcome, universe. This is Major Mindset. I am Jada Jae talking to my guy, Coach Pinnock. What's going on? My day was amazing. How was yours?
Man, an eventful day. An eventful day. I was in the gym with my 2028 boys. So we had a very good weekend. Very good weekend. What was you on this weekend?
Nah. We got to hear about the your kid. And when did they start doing the years? Put me in. That makes you what did that? They're sophomores. They're juniors. What are these freshmen? What are these rooks? What is this? My math is not available right now, yo.
Yeah, so the class of 2028 is this year's freshman class. So these freshmen will graduate in 2028. So yeah, they're freshmen. They're toward the end of their freshman year now. So I'm getting them ready for high school basketball. A lot of them played JV last year, so we're trying to make that jump from JV to varsity. But yeah, no, class of 2028, man. We had a good tournament this weekend. We don't this group of kids is not a EYBL, UA, circuit type of situation. I don't sell that dream to my kids like I sell my kids reality. And the reality of it is if you're not a varsity basketball player, traveling around and going to these tournaments don't make any sense because college coaches aren't recruiting JV basketball players, right? So our philosophy is stay at home and play in as many local events
BL
as we can play.
teams. Um, would you like to break that down to the people, Coach? Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
EYBL meaning the Elite Youth Basketball League. I think that's what that stands for.
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't know if you guys can hear Coach on his end.
that's the Nike. Can you hear me?
Different tiers of basketball when it comes to AAU and recruitment, or even in college as well. Coach, you with us?
I am. I am. I don't know if it's you can't hear me or if everybody can't hear me, but I'm coming in clear.
While Coach brings back into the broadcast, well, he was speaking of what he was doing this weekend. He coaches his players, the babies class of 2020.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here. I don't.
But
Let me see what's
if
going
they
on.
like it, I love it. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just here. I'm just
Can you hear me? But I'm trying to
my
figure out
my
if you can hear me or
manyan.
not.
But yeah, Coach, when you come back in, just let us know you're here and talk to us.
Yeah, I'm.
But yes,
All right, let me log out and log back in.
was it productive? Kind of, sort of. I watched a lot of WNBA today. I watched a whole lot of WNBA as much as I could. I had it running in the background, and all week long, pretty much. If you guys check out and just talking my talk over. Shout out to the China who does commentary, Ruko who does commentary. Great talking WNBA eventually in the show, guys. Thank you for rocking with us. This is Mid Major Mindset. I am Jada J. ball alum, FIBA athlete, former FIBA athlete. Let's get Coach back on stage with us. See if that works out. But today was a productive day, a very productive day, and I am very excited, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you hear me?
Bueno, talking
Am I
all over the
good?
beat. Am
Can you hear me?
am I diddying the beat, you guys? Am I diddying the beat right now? Oh, damn! I can't even say that. Oh, buddy. Oh, another one. Another one. Another
Testing,
one.
testing.
Can't even talk about. But yes, it was WNBA weekend, opening weekend. I was very excited. I see movement on coaches in, and I hear coach on,
Hello?
hey, coach, we
Hello?
got you, coach, we got you.
You can hear me? You can hear me?
We can hear you.
Awesome. 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 I don't know what that was.
The same foolishness that had me the other night had me crashing all the way out. Oh,
It's all right. It's all right. We in here now, so it's good. It's good. Yeah, so you was bringing us up to date on your weekend. I could hear some of it, but I couldn't hear everything. Now we done lost her. So yes, I'm your other co-host, Pinnock. I'll figure out what's going on with Jada Jae. She'll be back hopefully in a second. But yeah, we had a very good weekend. My boys were able to put a stellar weekend together and bring home the trophy. Shout out Big Time Hoops. We was able to get the trophy, get it done. Again, I got a group of young men and I'm just teaching how to play the game and teach how to carry themselves the correct way. Today we ran into a team that was pretty good, and they talked a big game. Had a kid talking crazy to me, being disrespectful, and the fact that we were able to humble them was pretty good. We got a good show for you guys tonight. We're gonna keep you guys abreast of what's going on with the young fella Jared Shaw, who was arrested in Indonesia for cannabis. We're gonna give you a playoff preview of the finals. Eastern Conference Finals are set, so are the Western Conference Finals. We're going to tap in and we're going to cover your W tonight. We'll cover the WNBA from the weekend, some of the stuff that happened. We got some other exciting stuff for you tonight. So look forward to getting into this conversation. Hopefully Jada Jae will be back shortly. If you're in the comment, let us know where you're from in the comments, where you're checking in from. And then there ain't a whole bunch of people in here, but we're very interested in learning about the people who are following us and who are watching us. Feel free to tap in. Let us know where you're from. Give Jada a couple more minutes to see if she can get back in here, and if not, then we'll get the show started, and she'll join us when she can. Give her a few more moments to see if she can get it on working. So yeah, just to update you again on Jared Shaw. Jared Shaw is the kid who's playing basketball overseas right now in Indonesia. He was arrested with 132 pieces of cannabis candy on him. I mean, here in the States, that's not a big deal. You can walk into a dispensary and cop whatever you want to cop, but some of these countries still have marijuana as a top-notch drug. Indonesia is one of the countries that has not decriminalized marijuana, and they lock people up for it on a regular basis. There are around, I forgot the number. I saw it earlier. I thought it was a staggering number, and it really scared me for the young fella. But the majority of people in the country who are on death row are on death row for drug charges. They take drugs very serious. He's been banned from the IBL, which is the Indonesian Basketball League. His contract has been terminated. And I mean, the young fella's in a situation where basketball is probably the last thing and should be the last thing on his mind. his freedom is not guaranteed. So we're just hoping that somebody intervenes, and we're going to keep bringing it up, and hopefully, other people will bring it up too, because the young man is facing life in prison or even the death penalty, and they do death penalty by firing squad, and I think that would be really tragic if this young man were to lose any more time than he's already lost, behind bars or in the situation he is. I have no idea what an Indonesian prison looks like, but I'm pretty sure it's not comfortable. Um, so yeah, we're still waiting on Jada to come back, but I'll hold it down until she gets here. Um, yeah, like I was saying, the NBA conference finals are all set. Um, OKC clinched their spot in the Western Conference Finals tonight. I think Jada is on her way back. I heard something. I hope that's her. But anyway, yeah, the OKC Thunder clinched their spot in the Western Conference Finals tonight, blowing out the Denver Nuggets 125-93 to advance to the Western Conference Finals, which I'm super excited about, because we're getting to see two of the young guys in the NBA who both have a chance to become the next face of the league, in Anthony Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander facing off against each other. I think this could be a rivalry that will exist for years to come. So I'm really excited about that. I think OKC and Minnesota both are really built to compete against each other. You think about all the bigs from Minnesota. You got Gerbert and I never say it, Rudy Gobert or whatever his name is. Can't never say it right. You got Julius Randle, right? You got Nas Reed. You got all these. I mean, you can add Jaden McDaniels, who's about 6'9" and plays at 3. And then you compare that to what OKC is going to bring with the big fellow who was with the Knicks last year. I'm not even going to butcher his name. Starts with the H. You guys know what I'm talking about. And you got Chet, who's another 7-footer who can step out and shoot the ball. So I think this series is going to be exciting. I think these teams match up very well. And then you got the two superstars who cancel each other out in Shai Gilgeous and Ant-Man. I'm a little biased because he's from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely. But I think it's going to be an amazing series. And in the East, we have the Knicks and the Pacers. And again, the Knicks have been amazing so far this season, obviously knocking off Boston and Indiana in the same situation, knocking off Milwaukee, and then getting Cleveland out of there. So, I mean, I think this is going to be another great series. We have two other guys who probably are not in that same conversation with Shai and Ant-Man, but if they can get to the finals and they can win the finals MVP, their name will probably start to pop up in that conversation as far as face of the league as well. And that is Jalen Brunson and Halliburton, which I'm impressed by both of them. I think Jalen Brunson has been the most clutch player of the year. Obviously, he won that award. But Halliburton is right there as well as far as clutch. He made some very big shots in the Milwaukee series, and he's been doing it all year. So I think we're set up for a really exciting final two series in the NBA as far as the conference finals goes. The Western Conference Finals get started Tuesday, May 20th at 8:30, and the Eastern Conference Finals will get started with Game 1 on May 21st at 8 p.m. So really, really think those are going to be two great series. And I'm not gonna put my picks out there until tomorrow night.
I'm putting my picks out now. I'm hopping on it just cause I'm from the area, but I want them Knicks to turn up just cause they
So we can write that in now. We
underdogs.
could put
Pum
that in.
pum, pum
The
pum.
Knicks.
If
We
I
got
could
the
get
Knicks.
Knicks versus Ant Man, I'm a happy camper. I'm a
Mm,
happy camper.
mm. I think just me growing up, 80s baby, Lakers, Bulls are my two teams. I don't want to see Indiana get to. I've never liked Indiana. All I think about is Reggie Miller, who I respect but do not like. So I don't want to see Indiana. So I think we're both with the Knicks coming out the East. And out the West, I'm gonna be honest with you, I want a 7-game series. I like both of those young teams. Yeah, I like both of those young teams.
My question to you, I heard you a little bit earlier because technical difficulty. Guys,
Mhm.
I live out of a van. Aha! Don't judge my damn life. Clearly, this is we're here. Don't judge me and my damn internet, you guys. But you were saying they match up well.
Mhm.
Team wise, bench wise, all that stuff. The Western Conference, two teams match up well all the way around.
Yeah, you can pretty much tell like there are certain teams, in my opinion, that were built to compete against each other, right? Like I think that's why OKC and Minnesota added all that size because they knew to get to the finals you have to go through Denver, right? So you need bigs, you need guys that can guard and shoot, and I think both teams have that when you look at the rosters. I think the only big for Minnesota who's not like an offensive threat like that would be the big Frenchman. But what he does defensively and on the glass, I mean, it's hard to stare at the fact that he's not an offensive guy. But this is going to be a series where I'm wondering who he's going to guard because both of OKC's bigs, primary bigs, will come out and play away from the basket, and I think that could be an issue for him. So I'm looking for Nas Reed and Julius Randle to play a lot more, and Gobert minutes maybe cut down a little bit in this series. But I'm really excited to watch it get started. Like I said, we're getting a chance to see the future faces of the league square off early. They could possibly be doing this for the next 10 years. Right? They're both so young. They're both so talented. We could see this matchup, like I said, for the next 10 years. And there's another guy you got to think about who's not playing, and he couldn't keep a gun out of his hand. But John Morant, he's also in the West Coast with
True.
Memphis.
True.
So he's also a guy that you can throw in that conversation. But there may be some realignment coming here in the NBA soon when you start talking about expansion and then adding some teams, right? You have some teams that are on the West Coast right now that probably would benefit more from being on the East, right? Like Memphis is in the West Coast. Um, Memphis is 2 hours from Atlanta. Atlanta is in the East Coast, so in the Eastern Conference. So there's certain things that may change, but I think Ja, if he can keep his nose clean, keep his hand off guns, he could get himself back in that conversation with a little bit more success. But we'll see.
I have my own thoughts on John Morant and him and his gun antics. And unpopular opinion,
Mhm.
uh, unpopular opinion. Like one of my homeboys from Fordham, Will, was we were going back and forth on social media because the first time it happened, I was like, "Yo, NBA, be easy." Like it's more, it's so many other bigger things to be concerned about. And then he's in Memphis. Like the crime rate, that shit is Memphis. Let's be 100. Let's be 100%. That shit is still Memphis. People run up on people. Like they were they were fucking doing home invasions on athletes when they were out of town and things like that. And I'm talking about all over. This happened in the NFL, NBA. Like this has happened before. So I was kind of like, yo, get over it. Like it's not that real. But then my homeboy was like, nah, he's a role model. He's in the NBA. A lot of young kids look up to him. And so I'm like, well, always you can. This is the moment to now flip this. So now, and it still might be an unpopular opinion, but now why not let's teach gun safety or gun cuz what's the word I want to say, I can't remember what it is, but white people are teaching their kids how to shoot guns very very early. Down in the south, kids at 18 are walking in and out of stores with guns on their hip. Like it's a culture. Like guns are like real life a culture. Like I get with the NBA and like the imagery and all that stuff, but the South is the wild, freaking West. Like if you don't have a gun, like you a sitting duck, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's an unpopular opinion. I did want to shout out Nas Reed because he is a Jersey guy playing, and I loved how all the Timberwolves came back to Jersey to support Nas when he got. I think his jersey was retired.
Yeah, I remember seeing that earlier in the year.
So
Yeah, I
that
remember
was a
seeing that.
pretty dope. Anything in Jersey could Jersey's so small and basketball is so small, like so it matters. Like Kyrie coming back to West Orange High School and giving to the high school girls team there. but they made states. Like shout out to Carnice, one of my homegirls that coaches the head coach there at West Orange High School, Kyrie Irving's old stomping ground. Like things like that matter in Jersey. So shout out to Nas. I am rooting. I want them to win. I want Ant-Man and Timberwolves and Nas and them. I became a fan of
Absolutely.
Don't judge my life, Danny. I think Ant-Man was in that Adam Sandler movie on Netflix with Queen Latifah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was the first time I had ever seen who Anthony Edwards, and I fell in love with his character. Like I was like,
But you know what's so funny is that that's not a character, that is him. That's
mm,
what's so funny is that that's not a character, that is him.
mm-hmm,
Like that. And why I love him again is because he's from Atlanta and he represents Atlanta to the fullest. He is Atlanta from the way he carries
mm-hmm.
himself. You know, you're not going to see him in a post game interview without an Atlanta hat on, without an A hat on. I'm going home tomorrow. Please believe I'm running in the lids to grab about 6 or 7, 8 A hats when I'm in there. Right, like the way he talks, the way he carries himself on the court, the way he talks, everything about that man is Atlanta. So I love him for that. I want to piggyback a little bit on the job situation, right? Because I agree with you, right? In the South, you know, carrying a gun is part of what we do, right? Like it's not a big deal to be in the grocery store, to be in a gas station, and somebody walk in and there's a gun on their hip. It's not a big deal. Like we don't even acknowledge it, right? Like so what, you know? But here's what I would say about that job situation is that he brandished a gun at his house playing basketball with kids from the neighborhood, right? Like you invite kids over to play basketball. The kids were in the street, whatever. Kids are playing basketball with you at your house. You get into an argument with a kid, and a
I
gun
get
is
that.
pulled. That to me is just the most like dumb shit that it could be done by somebody in his position, right? And then the second time, you got people around you that supposedly care about you, that supposedly love you, and they know your situation and they flash the gun. You got to remember the second time it wasn't even him flashing the gun, it was his homeboy flashing the gun on social media. So
Yeah.
these situations to me, it's not about Ja. It's about the motherfuckers around Ja,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Like you can't forget why you are where you are now, right? Like you can't forget that if he don't make the money that he making, y'all going back to the project, right? Like if he don't do the things that if he can't be Ja Morant, then you are not whoever you started to become because you know Ja Morant. Like that is what bothered me, even with his father, right? Like the father to me became too much of an AAU dad. And that's what's going on right now in the league is you got a lot of fucking AAU dads with their kids in the league now. And some of them didn't behave like AAU dads when their kid was playing AAU because Ja wasn't a superstar when he was playing AAU. Halliburton
Aha.
Halliburton wasn't a superstar when he was playing AAU,
Aha.
right? So now that your kid is that dude at this level, where again there's no higher level, now that AAU dad that you didn't really get to be, you being that motherfucker now, and that's stupid.
Facts.
It's stupid, right? Like even
Because now you
LeBron
really
to a
messing
certain
up the
extent,
bag. You messing up the bag.
yeah, like this is what I could never understand is that how could the people around you who benefit the most from the bag not remind you, oh, you can't fuck up because that bag is changing everybody's life right now, right? So again, the motherfuckers around Jaws who I had an issue with during that, and I even like, even during my little highlight time when I was playing overseas and I was making good money, when I went to the club, the gun was never on me. But Hope said, he said, you only see, what damn, how do you say that shit? He said, anytime you see my
Only
bodyguard,
rapper with
he said something about the bodyguard, and I only keep his waist to keep my Glock in. I mean, if I'm the bag, I'm not carrying the gun. The gun is for security you see what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
When I was the bag, when I was making the bag, and me and my homeboys went out to Central Station. Shout out Central Station. It don't exist no more over there. Hateville. If you from the A, if you from Georgia, then you know what I'm talking about. But shout out Central Station, right? Shout out Pool Palace. Back in the day, we used to go to Pool Palace over on Old National, right? Like these spots we were going to when I
I
was
remember
making
them
money.
talking about that, the Pool Palace. What the fuck was it? Something about Pool Palace something. Was
Oh,
it dance something?
that's what started the whole snap joint.
Yeah, the Pool
That started the
Palace,
whole snap joint. The
yeah,
Pool
that's why
Palace
I
over
know
on
that
Old
shit.
National. Yeah, the Pool
Okay.
Palace. The piano bar, right? Like, man, all these little hole in the wall spots we used to go to back in the day when I had the bag. I'm not carrying the gun. My partner's got the gun. So that was my issue with Ja. Like, my dude, why are you acting like something you're not? Your father was in the hood. Your father grew up in the hood, but your father got you out the hood. You lived in a nice little house. And now you acting like something you never had to do. Again, it comes down to the people around you. Braun is
Coach,
who he is
speaking
because of
of
the people around him. What'd you say?
speaking of the people around him, I want to put this on public record and say, and it might be way too soon for this, so I apologize to this young man because I think he's an amazing young man. But Jason Tatum,
Mm.
I saw there was a hot take on Ocho and them's podcast that they were talking about low top playing in low top playing sneakers. Don't put that shit on Asia's sneakers. Don't put that shit on Asia's sneakers. Well, I'm gonna put that shit on was Jason Tatum's camp. Jason Tatum came to that game. He showed up in the Jesus should have worked 95 overalls and some Tim boots laced all the way up. Them Tims were too heavy on his ankles. He didn't know how to wear them. I'm going to
Right.
blame that on Jason Tatum's team. I'm going to blame Jason's ACL. That's probably way too soon, but I'm going to
Achilles.
blame it on his team. Achilles. I'm going to blame that on those that whoever in his camp told him to come outside looking like Jesus Shuttlesworth, and he ain't do it right. Y'all set him up for that. It wasn't Asia's low top sneakers. Don't blame that on
You
Asia
blaming his
Wilson
Achilles
A1s.
fault.
Don't do that.
But so you gonna blame it on the Timbs. I seen I
Blame it on the
seen
Timbs and his camp.
I seen dudes in Tim's dunk a basketball. You know, NY
In
dudes a
real
hoop
life.
in yeah, NY dudes a hoop in Tim's up top. Like they that you know what I'm saying? It's like, the Achilles is one of those things, man, where it comes out of nowhere.
Facts.
It's
Facts.
it's one of those things where yeah, you might have had like a little strain, right? Like Kevin Durant had a calf strain before he ruptured his Achilles. But Kobe didn't have anything other than wear and tear. Same thing with Jason Tatum. It's just wear and tear, right? Like it's one of those. And I tell folks all the time, I'm gonna knock on wood, even though I don't really like doing that no more, because I know some witchery shit that came with that knocking on wood shit.
Yep.
I
Mhm.
don't really like, but it's just still a habit to do it, right? So I would rather tear my ACL than rupture my Achilles any day. Any day. Anytime you can do something, right? Do you know what's the common response to a torn Achilles? Every person
What?
I know that has torn their Achilles, they like have you ever like seen somebody tear their Achilles like in person, like not like a tragic one, like where he just I've seen a dude walking, just walking, and he turned around. It was like, man, who the fuck just kicked me in my leg? They were like, bro, nobody is near you,
I feel
and
like
it's
that
an
happened to
Achilles.
please, Stacy, don't be mad if I quote that the wrong way. Our teammate in college, Stacy Price, tore her Achilles, and I kind of feel like it was a situation like that. Like I don't, but
Was
don't be mad at me, Stacy, if I
was
quoted that the wrong way.
right? Was she talking about somebody kicked me in the back of my leg?
Yeah.
Then
Yep.
she tore her Achilles.
She
Absolutely,
tore her
she tore her
Achilles,
Achilles. Yep, she
and
tore
that
her
was a
Achilles.
different injury then, because her
That was
Achilles
it. That was
injury
it.
she couldn't come back from real
Yeah, that was it. You know, the first person to successfully come back, like I
really,
ain't gonna say the
but the
first.
ACL injury, although technology was still worse, huh?
I said, you know who one of the first, like Kobe is one of the first success stories to come back from an Achilles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
Achilles, just like back in in the early '80s, you got to think about this. Bernard King, one of the best scorers to ever play in the NBA, he had an
New
ACL
York.
injury and never returned back to who he was. Right? Like he had an ACL and never got back to being like you didn't recover from an ACL back then. Right? Like even guys like I would say, yeah, like an ACL right now is like if you're gonna get hurt and you got to have like a major surgery, you want it to be ACL. They could do them shits in their sleep now.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah,
Yeah,
hell
they
yeah.
they do that shit in their sleep. Like you get an ACL, you done for 6 to 8 months. It used to be forever, right? And that 6 to 8 months that's the normal scale, but you can come back a lot faster depending on your body and in the rehab. You know, so yeah. But I wish Jason Tatum. I wish him a speedy recovery. I'm definitely not a Celtics fan. I'm a Lakers fan, so I don't ever want the Celtics to be good. But I definitely don't want to see the young man hurt. I hope he's able to get back to being the same Jason Tatum that he's been.
Definitely pray for that. I like Jason Tatum. I like him and his corniness. I feel like he's another one of those NBA guys that the fame shit ain't go to his head. Like he's very grounded in that. In my opinion, on the outside looking out. On my opinion, on the outside looking out. I kind of feel
Mhm.
like LeBron's the same way. I kind of feel like LeBron could have been a whole different type of dickhead, yo. Like in real life, he could have. From 90 mil
Yeah,
out the gate, like LeBron could have been a dickhead. But I like he I like who he is. I like the family. I like the unit he is. That's why, in my opinion, with this a whole nother conversation for a whole different day. But for me, not to take away from, and it's nothing in for me. It's kind of nothing about the game with LeBron. It's so much other things. Like in my opinion, LeBron's a great teammate. LeBron teammates actually like him. Jordan teammates couldn't stand him. Like Scottie Pippen don't like him to this day, bro. Like how your teammates still y'all grown men and y'all still don't like each other? Like
yeah, but Scotty not liking MJ is clear. It's a lot of. I'm not gonna say he don't like him. I'm going to say there's a lot of mm, not jealousy,
for me,
but I think Scotty just feels like he doesn't get the due that he's supposed to get. All right, like he doesn't get the act like the attention that he's supposed to get. He's not regarded in the way that he wants to be regarded, and a lot of that is because he spent a lot of time in MJ's shadow. Like that's just the reality of it. Like you are known for being Robin, right? Like that's just the reality of it. And I think at this stage, I
hey, let
think
me
that
ask you this, Danny, because you was paying attention to the
mhm,
NBA.
mhm,
When Jordan retired and it was Pippen's team, did Pippen kick up when he had the stage to be the man? Did Pippen kick up to prove that he was that dude, like he was him?
he didn't win a championship in Chicago, obviously without MJ, but those couple years he did play without MJ, he kept the Bulls really relevant. Him, Tony Kukoc, they had a solid team. But no, to win championships and stuff like that, no. So obviously he couldn't fill MJ's shoes, but he didn't fail in attempting to do it. I guess that's the best way to say it, right? Like he didn't fail in
True.
attempting to fill the shoes. He just did not fill them, um, and they were really big shoes to fill. I mean, we're talking Michael Jordan, my opinion, the greatest, the goat, right? And this is again, I've had this conversation. I don't like having the GOAT conversation, especially since we lost Bean. But um, I always say that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. But but LeBron James is the best basketball player of all time. And people ask me what does that mean, right? Michael
Even over
Jordan,
Kobe?
yeah. Um, and again, Kobe is more of in the mode of MJ. So now if I said greatest scorer or that killer instinct, then I would put Kobe in there over. Now in my list, here again, in my list, I'm going to have MJ, Kobe, LeBron. But I believe LeBron James is the best basketball player, right? Because MJ's a better scorer, maybe a better defender. He's not a better passer, maybe
Mm-mm.
on-ball defender, right, than LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a better rebounder.
Mm-mm.
He's not a better, like LeBron can guard all 5 positions on the floor. MJ couldn't do that based off of his size,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, you look at all the numbers, right? LeBron is going to make the correct basketball play. But MJ gonna shoot that motherfucker over 3, 4 people. Don't matter. Like if the game's on the line, we know MJ's taking that shot.
Facts.
Right? Like, yeah, toward the end he started making the pass, and getting guys open to make shots. But that was toward, the second three-peat. That's when that started happening. That wasn't happening the first three-peat. And it damn sure wasn't happening the first 9 years. Right? And that's another thing that I always talk about. As somebody who loves Michael Jordan, the reason I played basketball is because how beautiful that man made the game look. Right? No doubt about it. But Michael Jordan did not win for the first 9 years of his career. We only talk about 6 years when it comes to MJ. 8 if you count the 2 years he set out. We never talk about that first 9 where he couldn't get past Boston, couldn't get past Detroit. Hell, sometimes he lost to Cleveland. Right? Like we never talk about that.
Who
And
the fuck
here's
was
what
in
I was
Cleveland?
say it again.
I don't even remember them. I don't even remember
Yeah,
nothing.
they had
I remember nothing before them 6 rings.
no. So you had Mark Price, Craig Elo, Ron Harper, Hot Rod Williams. You had a
Right.
solid team in Cleveland. Um, and the Bulls would go.
Hmm.
They would win. They lost to them once or twice, I believe, maybe once, but it was always a good series, right? Like the iconic shot they show of MJ at the free throw line, the double pump jump shot, and he make it, and then he's doing the fist pump. That was against the Cavs. That was like every year. That's what that series came down to. All right. So we never talk about that. LeBron had how many years in Cleveland where they didn't make the playoffs?
Facts.
Right? Like, so when we talk about the best now, there would be no LeBron James if there was no Michael Jordan. We talk about the business outside of the court, off the court, all the business, the meetings, the marketing, the shoe deal, all of that. That's MJ. So when you talk about the greatest basketball player, now it's more than just what he does on the court. It's the aura. You got kids to this day who never seen Michael Jordan play a game but want Jordans. They want to wear Jordans. Never seen him play. So when I say greatest, that's what I mean. Like his impact on the game, on the business, on the culture, right? Like the bald head. It didn't become an icon for anybody until him. His cologne bottle is
Facts.
just a bald head with his silhouette. It's a bald silhouette.
That's wild, yo. That's wild.
Right. So but LeBron, again, it's gonna be hard for you to tell your nieces and nephews when they had this conversation with you and they say LeBron James is the greatest ever. How are you going to argue that when he has all the records in the NBA? At 40 years old, name another guy who is doing what he's doing at 40.
That's another. I'm agreeing with the babies. He is the fuck. And Bryce coming right behind him because, in my opinion, Bryce is the one.
No, I disagree. I disagree again. I disagree. Bryce,
I need
let
my
me tell
sound
you why.
effects.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. We talked all this mess when Bronny and LeBron did what they did, right? Here's what people are forgetting. Bronny was a McDonald's All-American. Bryce is not. Bronny started on his high school team with other guys who were high major Division I players. Bronny does not start. He comes off the bench. The highlight of Bronny's season was a 16-point performance. I mean, not Bronny, Bryce, excuse me. Yeah, the highlight of Bryce's season this year was a 16-point performance off the bench. So if again, we forget, Bronny almost died. Bronny's heart stopped working. Bronny had to take a long time away from the game. If Bronny does not have to take that time off from the game, do I think I think Bronny has a much better season at USC if he does not have to have open heart surgery. We forget this. And now here we're saying that Bryce is just as good, if or better, based off of what? His size? Highlights? He don't have as many highlights as Bronny had in high school. Sierra Canyon, when Bronny was there, Sierra Canyon was flying around the country filling up 1,000-seat arenas. Sierra Canyon wasn't doing that this year with Bryce.
Other superstars' kids.
Say it again.
Wasn't he playing with like Ron Harper? Like it was some other NBA kid that he was playing with. I'm lying.
Maybe, but I guess, and that's the whole thing. Like I can tell you the guys that Bronny was playing with, like Brandon Boston, who's was a draft pick. I think he might be in the G League now. So he had some guy. Scottie Pippen Jr. was with Bronny, and Bronny was starting with these guys on the team. You know what I'm saying? Bryce is coming off the bench. And I hope he gets it together, and I won't be upset if LeBron is still around and he does the same thing. Like I have no problem with nepotism for Black people. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You know, yeah, I love it. They're saying Bryce right now is 6'6". At 17 years old, he's 6'6". Like I just don't know. I'm not sold on him. Obviously, he has the size. But he's not for me. I don't think he's going to be better than Bryce, than Bronny. I'm looking at his numbers up now.
I feel like a lot of Bronny's still off the court phenom is what contribute to a lot of the opportunities that I think Bronny might not have. Like, I mean, not Bronny, Bryce might not have. Bryce not selling out. Bryce, I don't think Bryce jersey is going to sell out like that
No.
because his name isn't. I feel like because Bronny, one, made a name for himself in that streaming shit. Two, he like in like the media, he was Bronny James. Like he kind of carved his own way in the media. That made us want to be more invested in him. That made the coaches put more pressure to play him more. Again, he's Bronny James. He's LeBron James' son. So I don't know if it was because he was so much better than Bryce or that the pressure was on him like, nah, you got to play this guy. You have to play him. He's Bronny James. Like he got this huge fight. He's mad popular. Like he's one of the popular kids. I don't think Bronny James deserved to be on the McDonald's All American team. I don't think that. I don't think he had a good enough numbers. Like I'm
You
just
can say that, but in the McDonald's All American game, he had 15 points and went 5 for 8 from the three, and had 4 assists. So he belonged. He proved he belonged. He had 15 points. He went 5 for 8 from the 3-point line and had 4 assists in the McDonald's All American game. Bronny was good. I'm telling you, Bronny had that heart situation, and that slowed him down. That he had to, like, he almost died. He collapsed on a court. His heart stopped breathing. It stopped working.
Yeah.
You know, he almost died. That's the reality of it. We talk about Bryce, the numbers for me, like even he's a think about this. If you're talking about Bronny, right? Saying that he kind of LeBron, had had popularity and all of that stuff. he was a McDonald's All-American, meaning he was a 4 or 5 star and signed to go to USC. Now, if you want to talk about a hype train, let's talk about Bryce. Because Bryce is a 3 star and he committed to Arizona months ago. He early committed as a 3 star.
And let's be
Oh,
real, he verbally to Duquesne first, like
right,
some shit.
right.
I was surprised he did that. I'm like, Duquesne ain't that
Well,
A10? That's
his
Bryce about to
uncle
come
is
to
there.
A10.
His uncle is there.
Who is uncle?
Um,
Put me on.
um, the coach at Duquesne played with Braun at St. Vincent St. Mary. Is it Bryce Drew? Bryce Drew is the head coach at Duquesne. So let me break it down to you,
Ah,
right? Here. I'm looking at 24/7 Sports. These are the 4 schools that Bryce James had. Southern California, that's where Bronny went. They didn't offer him. Ohio State, that's where his daddy would have went. The state where his daddy from. Duquesne, Bryce Drew, his daddy college teammate, was there. Is the head coach there. In Arizona, I can find out what the connection is, but if I'm Arizona and I can bring LeBron James' son here, I know what that's going to do for me. But you're not telling me that a 3 star committed early, signed early. And again, the kid does not average 20 points per game. The kid does not start for his high school team. That's unheard of in a world where really good seniors are not getting offers because of the transfer portal.
facts, facts.
Like I'm not buying it. I'm not sold. I think because I thought the same thing when they were younger.
Hmm.
I thought Bryce is going to be the one because he cleared like he was taller. You could see he's definitely going to be taller. You can see all of that. But from what he's done in high school, I'm not impressed. I don't think he deserves to be going to Arizona. I don't think he'll touch the court at Arizona. I think he'll transfer really soon. Really fast. I don't see it.
I
Don't
feel
see
like
it at
that's a
all.
one and done anyway. I feel like that situation is nepotism. I feel like that's gonna be a one and done for him to get college experience and be out like Bronny was
He's
and
not
go
gonna. I don't see him touching the floor, so they're gonna have a hard time pulling that off. I'm being honest.
to Arizona. He not gonna get burned.
No, Arizona is traditionally a top 5 team every year. You're not getting clocked like that. Arizona, I know the Pac-12 don't exist anymore like that, but the Pac-12 was was one of those conferences. I think Arizona played in the Big 12 or the Big 10 this year. I can't remember. I can't
Hmm.
find no numbers on this kid. When will I be able to find them? We got other topics we got to cover. We got to get to the W. We got to get to the W. We haven't covered the W yet.
Oh, let's go. You know,
Let's get
you.
to the W.
Bump
Let's talk.
that.
Let's
Bump.
talk. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Let's talk about tonight's action. We had the Mystics defeating the Sun tonight, 90-85. Tina
Mhm.
Charles finished with 23 points and 10 rebounds, and Olivia Nelson. I had to pronounce it
Shout out to
earlier.
Tina Charles because she a vet.
She getting it done. Yes, ma'am. Olivia Nelson Odode. She had 8 points and 8 rebounds to help the Mystics get that win. But the
Shout out
Mystics are
to
2-0 right
Olivia.
now.
Yeah, yo. Okay, so let me tell you my tie-in because I'm going to cheer for Mystics. I'm going to watch Mystics. Shout out to little sis Brittany Sykes. Shout out to her. I forget all her nicknames right now because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't judge my life, y'all.
I just yawned. My bad.
But stacks, all that bundles, all that. Brittany is from North New Jersey. I coached her. She probably don't even remember this. I coached her like in a high school all star game. in Newark, like years ago. But I'm just so proud of her just to see where her game is. She got injured last year, so her coming back in Unrivaled and then winning a championship with Angel Reese, her kicking up. The young lady, Olivia, her it's always stories in
Mhm.
W. Olivia didn't play in the W. She played in Athletes Unlimited. So Athletes Unlimited is kind of sort of like a G League for the WNBA before there was an Unrivaled. So a lot of the athletes, I love that New Jersey damn near has a whole team. Shout out to Essence Carson. She got a team in Athletes Unlimited. It's Essence, another young lady from East Orange, another young lady, Lauren Minty, who played at University and also went to I want to think Minty went to Louisville, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But so shout out to Olivia who came and had the opportunity to actually make the squad of Washington Mystics again. So I'm very excited about the Washington Mystics teams, but they will continue to do throughout the season. Shout out to little sis Brittany Sykes. Um, that's the, is there was that the rookie? No, that's not the other rookie, Kiki. Who does Kiki play for? I think who
Kiki's
does
with the
Kiki?
Mystics as well. Brittany, I
Ah,
don't know, I missed that. Brittany had 27 tonight. She had 27 last night.
yeah, Brittany kicked up tonight. Brittany was getting busy. Like
She had 27 and
Brittany
7.
get Brittany be getting it done,
And I
and
see.
Brittany got bounced.
Yeah,
She definitely is shifty going downhill. Brittany gonna go downhill and get something going. I love Kiki as a rookie because she had a double tonight, didn't she?
she had a double double tonight. She did. She had a double double tonight. She had 17 and 14 tonight
As a rook,
as a rook. Yep. So I think
bro. That's
Washington
like
again. Me being here in the Washington area, I'm definitely gonna go check them out at some point here. Um, yeah, the Mystics 2-0. I'm excited about the WNBA season. I think they gotta. It's too early to tell who's gonna be there at the end, but they're definitely putting their name in the hat. Another action tonight. Minnesota cruises past the Sparks 89-75. Erica Hamby had a double double with 20 points and 10 rebounds. Azura Stevens had 21 points. Kelsey Plum
mm-hmm.
added 18 and 5 in
Erica always
defeat.
show up.
Yes, she do. She do. Um,
Shout
and
out to KP in her transition to the LA Sparks because
yeah, yeah. She had a really nice post. It looked really. I mean, she looked good in the post, and the post looked good. She was on the beach, and she was saying there was no hard feelings towards Las Vegas, and how she was enjoying herself in that beautiful LA weather. She was out on the, looking very good on the in the beach chair. For the Lynx, who pulled that win out, they're solid. They
I want to know what
they
happened
want
with.
that chip. They lost last year to New York. At the end of the game, they feel like I'm pretty sure they feel like they can win it again. They can be there again this year. Nafisha Collier finished with 23 points and 6 rebounds. Courtney Williams had a double double. I love Courtney Williams. Her energy as a coach is a dream. The way she plays, the energy she plays with. She finished with 13 and 10 dimes, and Jessica Shepard also had a double double with 11 points and 10 rebounds. Yeah, you there, Jada?
Oh, shout out to Diamond. I'm here, Coach. My bad. My battery. You know
Oh,
how, guys? I live in a van. I'm gonna keep to letting y'all know this. I live in a van. My come on, leave me alone. So sometimes my jacket be going off too. I'm getting it together. Don't judge my life. But shout out to Diamond Miller, little sis from New Jersey, and the whole Miller family. Because I keep forgetting Diamond was the number one. I feel like Diamond, I believe, was number one draft pick. I don't know why I be forgetting that she plays out there because I feel like she was number one draft pick or maybe number 2 or something, 3 or something 2 years ago. Not that year with Caitlin and Angel and them, but the year before that. Yeah. So shout out to her, Minnesota,
absolutely.
and that was, huh?
I said absolutely. You said shout out to her. I said absolutely. That was it. No,
And you were speaking to transition into another game that happened yesterday because it was New York Liberty. We got a chance to see the New York Liberty play against the Las Vegas Aces, and I
Hmm.
definitely tuned into that game. I was impressed with New York. I was very impressed with New York. It looked like a cakewalk for New York. You could definitely
That was
tell
a.
with
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, I'm listening, Coach.
I was saying that was a rematch of last year's semifinal,
Hmm.
the Liberty and the Aces, which was a really good series.
And the last year, the year before that, last year, that was a remix of the finals final. That was a great
Hmm.
final series.
It
That New
was.
York Aces 2 years ago, that shit was rocking. That
Yeah.
came down to the wire. New York, in my opinion, New York was supposed to win. That's why New York kicked up that next year because New York, that was a great series. That was a
Yeah.
great series. But
Amazing series.
Asia went off for 31. A quiet, in my opinion, it was a quiet 31. Although she did offensively have a great game offensively, and I believe she had a double as well.
Mhm.
But defensively, Asia, I love how. Okay, so let me go back. I'm gonna critique. I love how I can tell how Asia's game has expanded. Like we got a lot of Asia bringing the ball up yesterday. Like Asia was leading the break, going coast to coast, all the way to the basket and one. Like we got a lot of that. But being with the Aces, they don't have another big girl. So Asia's gonna have to bang. Like Asia played against JJ yesterday. JJ is a beast in that paint. Shout out to a mid-major George Washington University alumni.
G
Shout
Dub.
out to G Dub alumni out there. Every time when I found that out, that made me love her even more. We already got the same initials, so I was
Mhm.
already like loving that. And she a big girl. I'm always gonna root for the big girl. But now like, oh, she went to GW. Oh, we locked in. Like I love her game. Like, and she's showing that nah, it don't matter. Like JJ get to it. So saying all that to say, Asia's going to have to get a lot more physical on the defensive side, being that they don't have size. Like Asia's pretty much the only one in that paint right now. So that's what exposed on the defensive side, in my opinion. You can't compete with a JJ, a Stu, a UNESCO, and I think did for New York no more, does she? Am I lying?
Who's that?
Van Sloot. I don't think she plays for New York anymore. The Sloot, Van Sloot.
The German girl?
Anyway, it was yes, it was too much. New York was too much for Vegas. It was obvious. Like they have a lot of adjusting to happen over there in Vegas. That's what it just needs to be an adjustment. That's all it needs to be, but it will come. But that was a great game. It was still a really good game. Yo, coach, I don't know if you had a chance. Sorry, I'm rambling. But you know how I get when it gets to women's sports. I apologize. I'm sorry.
I don't know why you're
um,
apologizing. Yeah, go ahead.
the championship ring, true. New York, okay, so New York Liberty, because I'm a New York girl, and in my heart, I was a New York fan from day one. Like going over the bridge, Waddy taking us to the games. We used to be on the floor, getting the balls from the players, pause. From the New York Liberty, meeting Nikki McCray in the background. Like we met Nikki McCray. She was the coolest as a kid anyway. But New York, they got their rings yesterday from the championship. The designer of that ring, those rings, please go check out these rings online when y'all get the chance to. Inside the ring, there are a pair of gold earrings with diamonds in there, that says New York on there. Like the leaf, like the design of this ring is amazing in my opinion. This is the best championship ring we will have ever had. Point blank,
Mm.
hands down. Shout out to the New York Liberty. Shout out to the sponsorship with Rihanna's Fenty. That's just more money coming on the table for us, more opportunities. Shout out to JJ Stu and Sabrina going to the Met Gala again with the owner. I know Danny feels how he feels about that.
don't
feels,
care nothing
but
about that.
on
I don't care nothing
elitism,
about
we kind of
that.
need our Liberty girls to be in rooms like that. We need our WNBA
Nah,
girls
I don't agree.
in
I don't
rooms like
agree.
that. Shout
I'm
out
not
to
gonna
Angel
agree.
Reese. We need to be in the conversation.
Nah, that's not a conversation we need to be a
We need
part
to
of.
be there. We gonna have to
For
agree to
what?
disagree.
They're not breaking bread. What do you need to be there for? They're not breaking no bread with them. What they need to be there for? Again, that is for the elitists. But I mean, hey, again, each his own. I don't agree that they need to be in that.
Who
I
wasn't
think,
breaking bread with them?
uh-huh. Who's the Met Gala breaking
Who
bread with?
wasn't breaking bread with them?
Who else is breaking bread with them? I'm not understanding the
Yeah,
question.
you said they
Who isn't
weren't
breaking
breaking
bread?
bread. You
The Met
weren't
Gala
breaking
is not
bread.
breaking bread with nobody. The museum of whatever, like the New York Museum, is not breaking
Oh, you
bread with
talking
anybody.
about money?
Yeah, the Met Gala, like you talking about the network and stuff?
Going
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
it's going
But you
to.
don't have to go to the Met Gala to do that, right? Like you don't have to go to the Met Gala to
So the
network.
Met Gala money goes to like artists and like
No,
seamstress and stuff like that,
it goes to the
huh?
fashion department of the New York Museum. They are not in need of any money. Take them expensive ass gowns y'all got and break the threads down and resell it or whatever. That ain't nothing I can get behind. That's a charity for somebody who doesn't need charity. I could give two shits about it. That's just the reality of it. There's no other way to put it. We talk
So
about the Met Gala. That's a charity for people who don't need charity.
so New York museums don't need funding.
No, no, they have money. If they didn't, how they keep the lights on?
No museums need funding
To the point where
because you
all
know
these
museums are
celebrities need
free
to
and they
show up.
they go based off of donations.
Listen, what has the New York Museum done for
Museums
my
don't.
people?
They don't. There's no service charge for museums.
If you think
I
that's the
love going to
truth,
the museum. I'm not gonna lie to you.
if
I love
you
the
if you
museum.
think that's the truth, then okay. Because nothing is in business if it's not making money. Nothing is a business if it's not making money. So you can sit here and think that the
Say
museums
that
aren't
again.
making money. It's not a business if it's not making money. Even a nonprofit
I
organization
mean,
has to make
nonprofits
money.
are businesses that are
They
set up not to
have to make
make
money,
money.
and they make money.
Yeah, from
Right.
donations.
They make
From
money.
donations.
Right. They make
Hence why
money.
having galas
So
matter.
tell me why what I just can't get behind it. I'm sorry. I can't get behind it. It's let's get back on topic because it has I'm not ever going to agree with it. I think it's a waste of time. I'll never cover it. I could become huge in media. I will never be at the Met Gala. I could become a billionaire tomorrow. You won't see me donate $1 or put my face or picture anywhere near that because there are better causes to follow. I'm sorry. They're better charities to be a part of than giving to rich
All
people.
right, so hey, universe,
Hmm?
that's Coach Danny saying that. If I'm going to keep applying for my Met press passes.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep applying.
I
Danny,
pray it happens for you.
I would like to.
I pray it happens
I
for you.
like
And don't
seeing.
don't
I
get
like
offended
going on
when
the
I
red
call you a
carpet. I
sellout
like
because I'm
being
gonna
a
call
part of the
you.
red carpet. I like seeing the glitz again.
There's like this is what I'm saying, right? Again,
I've been in. I went to
there's
Fordham, Danny. I
something
went to
better
Fordham
to be a
University.
part of.
I went to Fordham
There's
University at PWI.
That doesn't make you a sellout because you go to a PWI. It doesn't make you a sellout. That doesn't make you a sellout because what you didn't go to a HBCU.
Out of the school, yes, out of the school, the other schools that was recruiting me, and that if I was completely 100% down for the people, I should have gone to some of the HBCUs that was recruiting me. If I was
Well,
completely down for the cause, if I was completely down,
it's not true.
huh?
It's not true. That's not true. That's
Why
not true.
not?
Because again, you're talking about you as an individual who needs charity, who needs foundation. You need them. It's not the same. You doing something to better yourself, right? I could have went to a HBCU, no doubt about it. But what it doesn't make you a sellout to do what's best for you. What makes you a sellout, in my opinion, is to be here and saying, I'm for the people, I'm for the people, I'm for the people. And then you donate to the museum of fashion that has money, that has a $1 billion building that they're in that has access to, like, that is selling out. But going to a PWI over HBCU doesn't make you a sellout when you're trying to improve yourself. You going to that PWI, getting that degree, getting that higher education from that PWI, and then turning around and becoming a professor at the HBCU, then turn around and becoming a president at that HBCU. That's not selling out. Improving yourself is not selling out. But again, in my book, in my opinion, giving to the Met Gala, making the Met Gala this big, extravagant thing that we care about, for fucking what? Why do we care about it? Because there's going to be cameras and celebrities and them telling you you don't belong? Like, who cares about that?
America.
Hey,
America cares. For the same reason we were sitting up there watching Gail and Katy Perry take their ass up to fucking space for
who
2
was watching
seconds.
that? See, this
I
again.
watched that shit.
When
But
they told
Danny,
me about
you
that
not
shit, I thought it was a
media.
joke.
You in the gym with kids, like it's a
So
different
make your
world.
mind up, because the other night you said I was part of the media. Now you telling me I'm not part of the media.
Because you are media, so it's some shit you're gonna have to start stepping in the
I'm
room
not.
with.
No. That is selling out. I don't have to talk about shit that's not important to me because it's important to everybody else. It's not important to me. I'm gonna push what's important to me. That's the whole point of this platform. That's the whole point of
AD,
doing this. Not because
you told
everybody
me
else saying I
yesterday you
have to
don't
do
watch
it.
the WNBA. You told me out your mouth.
That's not what I said. I said I don't watch it as much as I want to watch it because I'm in the gym like I was today.
You still don't watch it.
Okay, I don't watch it as much as
You
I
still
like
don't
to
watch
watch
it.
it.
It's still a reason you still don't watch it.
Say it again.
But it's key word is you still don't watch it. You still don't watch it. You still
What's the
it
point
doesn't
right
matter
now?
as much as you want to.
So what's your
You
point?
still don't watch it.
Am I okay? And here's the thing: when we had a conversation, since you're bringing that up, when we had the conversation about it, what is it that I said? Since you're going to bring part of it and bring all of what I said, is I don't feel comfortable talking about it, and we had to improve on it because we couldn't talk about it the other night. So if you're going to bring what I said, bring all of what I said, right? And again, my platform to talk
Okay, but it
about
still
what
go
I
back
want
to
to
you
talk
still
about.
wasn't.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead.
I would still go back to you still don't watch it though. You said that you're not going to talk about something that you don't watch or something that you don't.
You're saying I don't watch it?
Yeah, now we saying that
My
you
exact
okay.
terms
So
were to
this
you,
goes back to
something I brought to you, right? Something I brought to you about our podcast. And I said that I don't watch it as much as I want to watch it, that I had to watch it more. This is comments that I made to you hours ago that now you're throwing up in my face right now to prove what?
I'm saying I'm not throwing it up in your face. I'm going back to saying you said that you're not media.
And I'm
You
asking
said,
you,
oh,
what is your point of saying that? That's what
because
I'm asking you.
now you have to go. My whole point of saying that was you're saying that it's stuff that you don't want to watch. It's stuff that you don't want to talk about because you don't want to be a part of that, right? I'm saying that before you weren't watching WNBA. That was my whole point. I'm not throwing shit up in your face. I'm talking
Before
what the
when?
fact is. You weren't watching
Before
that. Now
when?
we have to talk about it.
That's
Now we have to
bullshit
talk
because
about
I
it. Now
watched
you
the
have to
finals
vote.
last year. I have not had a chance to watch the one weekend of basketball so far this year. I
That's
haven't had a chance to
cool.
watch the one. So again, I'm asking you, what is your point? I don't care about Katy Perry and other rich motherfuckers going to Mars. I could give two fucks about that. So guess what? I'm not gonna watch it, and I'm damn sure
But
not
it's
gonna
still
fucking talk
media.
about
Just
it.
because you don't care about it,
Hey,
Dan, don't
I'm
mean it's not
talking
talked
about
about.
listen.
It don't mean
I'm
it's
not
not
saying
talked
you don't
about,
have to
Dan.
talk about it. If you want to talk about it, then I'll make comments so we can converse about it. But if you think that I'm going to waste my time worrying about Katy Perry and fuckface millionaires going to Mars,
You don't
that
have
is
to
not
be.
listen, let me finish. That is not what I want to cover with my time. Okay? If that's what you want to talk about, then we will talk about it. But I'm not going to do the same research. I'm not going to do the same deep dives into that bullshit because that's what I don't care about that. The people that aren't going to care about that. So if we're going to bring it up and we're going to talk about it here, sure, well, I'll have a surface conversation on it. And guess what I'm going to say before we have the surface? All I can provide is a surface conversation because I don't subscribe to that elitist bullshit. I don't.
But that's fine. That's fine for you not to subscribe. But you don't
Say it
be
again.
like me get all the way out, get everything out. Everything I be trying to say about the Met Gala, you all should be setting it down. I'm gonna call you a
I'm the
sellout.
one that brought the Met Gala
It's
up.
the
You
Met
didn't
Gala. That
mention
shit is
anything about the
entertainment.
Met Gala.
America.
I brought the Met Gala up. So don't say I cut you off from saying not letting you say what you want. I brought the Met Gala up tonight. We weren't talking about the Met Gala. I brought
it up, Danny. I brought up the Met Gala because
at
I
the end
brought
of
up
the
the New
day,
York Liberty. I brought
you're right.
it. I brought
And
in.
it wasn't a conversation piece. It was something you said, and I made a comment and was supposed to go on. And now here we are focused on it. It is not something I care about. It's not.
Yeah, because you don't agree with them going to. I'm thinking, and still being on the other side of media and needing women to be in the room and needing the WNBA to be in the rooms. You saying that they don't need to be there because you think it's elitist, because it doesn't make sense for anything. Yeah, that's what Danny thinks. For women in sports, for the conversation to move in the bigger grand scheme of the world, the WNBA, Flage being there, because Flage looked amazing. Yes, I understand what Danny talking about, but in media and moving the conversation in sports, we still need them to be there. We need them to be there. We need them to be in the room. Because other than motherfuckers don't be talking about just recently motherfuckers started talking about the WNBA. The WNBA been lit since I was a kid. Since I was a child. Lisa Leslie ain't get invited to no fucking Met Gala, and she was the girl back. She was that girl back in the day. Like, so that's why I'm saying that. Yes, I understand that Danny don't like the Met Gala. Danny don't want to be associated with that shit. Danny don't want to be a part of that shit. But for us to be in the room and to get those fucking sponsors, so granted, yeah, they just raising money for whatever they raising money for. That shit is still a networking event. So yeah, the president of the fucking Liberty need to be in that room. So maybe she could get some sponsors from Rihanna, who now sponsors the fucking New York Liberty Fenty. But get sponsorship from fucking Skims.
If you were actually listening to what I was saying, when you made that comment, I said okay for networking. I said okay to that. I brought that up for networking. Absolutely, it's a great opportunity to network.
Anything I talk about is for networking.
So again,
anything I talk about is networking. Any room I'm trying to step in. Like if I'm not in the room about networking, why the fuck am I there? Anything I do is about networking. It ain't just about being in the fucking room just to raise money for nobody. No, fuck. I'm trying to raise money for my kids in Newark that need NIL fucking deals. That's why I need to be in them fucking rooms. That's why I need to be on them red carpets. So I could bring this money back to fucking Newark. I don't want to shuck and jive with these motherfuckers. I don't want to shuck and jive with them. I have to. I need to. So I could get some of my girls. So, because it was a whole stretch, Danny, that Fordham wasn't recruiting no black girls. No shade to Coach Stephanie Gatley, because she know how to win. That woman's a great coach. She just took, I think it was some other team to the fucking women's tournament this year. I can't remember. Anyway, I said all that to say we as women need to be in the fucking rooms. Moving forward, what we really need to be talking about, honestly, is Caitlin Clark ass playing fucking Andrew Reese ass in Indiana. That happened yesterday, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm lying?
Yeah.
Or was it earlier today?
No, it wasn't today. It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
What your opinion?
I think the Chicago Sky suck.
On that game.
First and foremost, I think the Chicago Sky suck. I think that the organization is terrible. I think when they fired Spoon, I'm being honest. Like when they fired Spoon, I think they lost the team. They lost the locker room. They hired a new coach, but your best player, I guess you could say your best player, Andrew Reese, your most important player, right, doesn't really want to be there. Anytime you're crying and depressed about losing a coach, that's not a situation you want to be in. But the highlight of the game to me was the flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark fouled Angel Reese, the flagrant foul. That wasn't a basketball play, right? Like she pushed her in her back. She didn't make a simp on the ball. It wasn't a basketball play. With that being said, I don't mind the foul, right? What bothers me is the hard foul and then the, oh, what? It's just a foul, right? Like that bullshit. I feel like Angel Reese gets away with a lot of shit that doesn't fly for other players. I don't like the innocent, I'm innocent, not me type shit. Like I didn't respect that. I would respect it a lot more if you foul somebody like that and you go over and help them up. That's a little different to me. But to foul them like that and to walk away like what? I didn't do anything. That to me just rubbed me the wrong way. And I like Caitlin Clark. I think she's a great basketball player. She's going to be the best player in the league here really soon. I really believe that. But there's some things that just I don't care for too much, and that's one of them. You there?
I'm here. You broke up the last. I heard the last thing you said. I like Caitlin Clark, and she's going to be a future great player.
Yes, I think she's going to be. If she's not already the face of the league, she will be. I think she's an amazing shooter. She's an amazing playmaker. They don't talk about her defense a lot. I don't think she's a terrible defense, but I don't think really, she's not a terrible defender. But there's not really anything positive to say about her defense. But yeah, I mean, I just didn't like it. I thought it was a. Yeah, I didn't like it. What did you think about it? Yeah, Jalen, how you doing, Jalen? Shout out Jalen Hayes, man. Yeah, I don't think she really wants to be there. Man. I think that them getting rid of Spoon really hurt her, and I don't think when you look at the
Doesn't
move that
really want to
Indiana
be there
made,
at all. Who? Oh,
yeah, Jalen Hayes. Shout out Jalen Hayes. But yeah, like when you look at the moves that Indiana made to
I
put
feel like,
players
and plus,
around Caitlin Clark, right? You keep going in and out, Jace. I didn't know. That's why I just keep talking. You there?
I'm here.
All right. Go ahead. Yeah, I was trying to fill the space. Go ahead.
I feel like with that foul, I was more upset that they gave AB the technical and tried to like offset it. The hope earlier that it was like don't go after your player, don't touch the other player. Caitlin, I feel like Caitlin did in that play specifically expose what Caitlin does, in my opinion. Um Caitlin and it's no shade to Caitlin Clark, but Caitlin Clark did exactly what the fuck I expected Caitlin Clark to do. Throw what is it? Throw the stone and hide your hand. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's just a foul. It's just a foul. Whatever. But when Cunningham was knocking her ass down, she was crying to the refs and mad as hell. That first game last year, for Caitlin's first game out, I think what's the girl named Deasia Cunningham that she now got drafted to she got traded to Dallas, but
Mm-hmm.
she was defense. Had Caitlin locked on lock, and Caitlin was crying the whole time. Nah, Caitlin, if you gonna do that shit like you said, go help her up. Yeah, my bad, Angel. Like, all right, you already know what time that is. Like, cause that's the basketball play. That's the basketball play. I ain't about to let you get no wide open like layup. Like, I ain't
Right.
about to let you get no
Right.
wide open lay. Like, stop playing with me. Like, come on. Like, nah, that was some. Caitlyn did what I expect Caitlyn Clark to do, and that's my politically correct answer
Right.
because you
Yeah.
got my real answer earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, when I look at the two organizations and I see what Indiana did to the roster around Caitlin Clark, like they went out and they improved their roster, right? Like they already had Aaliyah Boston. They went out and added a few more pieces that really make them a team that I'm interested to see what it's going to look like when they get to the playoffs, right? You know, they just in Indiana right now is just a basketball state right now. I mean, it always has been, but they are really excited about their basketball right now in Indiana.
I kept trying to remember why the hell Stephanie White name sounds so fucking familiar to me. Like I couldn't remember why her name sounds so familiar with me.
Mhm.
And I'm going to name drop right now, but Coach Carly used to coach for Indiana when Catchings was there, and I forget who their head coach was. I'm looking at the lady. I think her name was Dunn, something Dunn. So Coach Carly used to give me Indiana gear and all that stuff. And I kept like, yo, who the fuck is Stephanie White? Why she sound familiar? But I remember now. Shout out to Coach Carly because Danny, when I tell you, I thank God for even with you because you offer me an opportunity. The opportunities of the locker rooms I was able to step into, and I cannot just because my life has been all over the place, like you said earlier, or privately off the stream, like how I need to just get everything right and get it a whatever. But anyway, I
Mhm.
was able to sit in the locker room and do media with Indiana when Coach Carly was there. I was able to go to the locker room. I was offered that because I asked Coach Carly, like, "Yo, can I come to the locker room and do y'all locker room media?" Coach Hatcher was like, "Yeah, for North Carolina." My ass got lost trying to get to the damn game, and I didn't get there in time. But I had those opportunities to sit in those locker rooms. But anyway, I said all that to say, like, I've been around Stephanie White before. I understand her, what she's trying to do over there, and how she is putting that together, and how it can and made this year seemingly flow for them in a very positive way. With adding a Dewana Bonner who outpaced Tina Thompson. I think she only needed like 5 points to outscore Tina Thompson or match Tina Thompson's scoring record, something like that, and become number third in the league with scoring or something shit like that. Like
Right.
adding a Sydney Closen, who's Sydney's a great role player and a great energy in the locker room, and who will be a great like piece to pull that energy wise, pull that locker room together even more. Like
Mhm.
I
Okay.
understand what Stephanie's doing over there, but then even going back, like understanding where Stephanie came from and who she learned under, all this shit makes sense. Fast forward, and the pieces are going to click for Indiana. They're going to click for Indiana. Very excited to see them. Who did Indiana play again? I'm lying. They played Chicago.
Yeah, they play. They play to. They play tonight.
Can we go to Cardi, please? Can we talk about Cardi?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, guys, what you will learn. Let me give you a little about who I am. I was a big girl. I was considered a big girl back in the day. At standing at 6'1", 6'2", I played a forward slash center. Now I would be a guard, but back then I was big girl, so I'm partial to big girls. So for me, with the Indiana slash Chicago game, I'm looking at that battle in paint. Cardosa versus Angel. I mean Cardosa versus Aaliyah Boston. Angel versus Dewana Bonner. Or vice versa, or mix it up that mix up. Although Cardi only went, I think Cardi went 7 for 7. She has 7 points and 7 rebounds. In my opinion, Cardosa does need to get tougher in the paint. Where Angel has a more grittier, more attack, more I'm gonna go get it type of game to her. We don't really get that from Cardosa. Cardosa and Cardosa in that body, like Cardosa, we saw Cardi push the hell out of Flage little ass.
Mhm.
Um, we saw that, so we know that Cardosa has that in her. We just have to. I want her to pull that out of her more. Like I need Asia to be more aggressive on the defensive end in the paint. So I'm gonna be quiet now because I can go on and rant and rant,
No,
but
I think you're spot on. I
I
think
love big girl play. I love that game yesterday.
yeah, I think you're spot on. I think yeah, she has to give them a little bit more. I don't think she's dominant enough at her size. I think she should definitely be more dominant. I think if you, I mean, just if we gave Angel Reese uh, Cardosa's uh, just physical ability, right? Her size, her quickness. I think we were talking about Angel Reese as being like a female Shaq, minus the dunking, right? Like that. And I'm not
She
saying
would be
Cardosa
flat.
has to be. I'm not saying Cardosa has to be like that dominant, but she has to be, especially on the defensive side and rebounding the ball. I think that she should be a walking double double. in this league every night, and not like a 9 and not like a 10 and 10 double double. Like it should be, she should have some 15-point, 20 rebound games. Um, but again, I'm not sure that Chicago is the right place to develop either one of them. Just I don't have a lot of. This is an organization that has done this twice. They won a championship, and then a bunch of stuff happened with the staff. Then you have a staff, you have an organization, a team that's going the right direction, and you do it again. So this is an organization to me that is just not a good organization. So, I do believe that Cardozo is going to have a good career, but she has to become more physical. You're absolutely right.
So, do we look at the GMs in a situation like that? Is that
It's the front office.
where
I
you're
mean,
saying we need to be looking? That the
yeah, the front office.
in the front office?
Yeah, the front office. Your general manager, your president of basketball operations, your head coach, right? Your ownership. Like this is what I'm seeing in Indiana, and I'm looking at Indiana like they're not playing around with this opportunity. They have Caitlin Clark. They moved. I mean, just now, even just looking at their roster and looking at what they're doing right now, right? Kelsey Mitchell is averaging 19 points per game. Natasha Howard is averaging 17 points a game. Now they've only played one game or two games, whatever it may be. But again, this is, Aaliyah Boston is averaging 14 and 8. Like these numbers continue. I have not got to Caitlin Clark yet. You got to remember that.
At all.
I just
And
said
mind you,
19,
Aaliyah and them, they're
17.
still young.
Right. I
They're a
haven't
young
even got to
team.
Caitlin yet. And then Caitlin, obviously, she's averaging her 19, 5, and 8. Right? Like I'm watching, DeWanna Bonner, like you said, she just moved into third place all time in WNBA scoring. She's on this roster. They went out and they put a roster together where they say, okay, we want to compete with the New York Liberties
And
and
for a vet, they needed that.
right. They went out and put that type of team together where
Dewana as their vet would be good. That was a great move for them to put Dewana
Mhm.
Bonner as a vet in that locker room. Like that is going to take them on a whole different level. Like it's gelling over there for deep. It's gelling over there for them.
No doubt about it. I agree with that. I agree. I agree completely. All right. Let's let's talk
One
about
more.
let's
Did we
pivot.
have one more WNBA up there? Yes,
No,
sir.
no. I think that was our coverage of the W tonight. We got games tomorrow. Um, Tomorrow in the W, there'll be action tomorrow. I'm pulling it up right now. I had it on my front and it moved. But yeah, there's plenty. I mean, it's a young WNBA season. Um, the Fever don't go again till Tuesday. They're in Atlanta on Tuesday. Ooh, I'll be in Atlanta. I'll be home. I'll be home Tuesday.
I already put my application in for media passes, so God willing, we can get 2 media passes.
And yeah. Oh, excuse me. No, they're not. They're in Indiana on Tuesday. They're in Atlanta later on in the week. My bad. So yeah, tomorrow in the W we got Las Vegas. Las Vegas will travel to Connecticut at 7 p.m. tomorrow. That's tip off at 7 p.m. The Dream and the Fever will also tip off at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Oop, I'm tripping. That's Tuesday. Tomorrow we got Seattle and Dallas at 8 o'clock. That should be a good one. Seattle's roster is loaded. They got Skylar Diggins.
Yeah, they are.
Remove the Smith. Don't call her Skylar Diggins. All right. And Paige will be making her second game of her WNBA career. So that should be a good one tomorrow.
I
Dallas and
like to see
Seattle.
how Skylar will rub off a Page and Page will rub off a Skylar.
So they're in two different cities because Skylar's in
Wait, no,
Seattle.
Page plays for Dallas. I'm lying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Skylar's in
Skylar's in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Her and
Page has Enrique.
Nafisha. Nope, that's Minnesota. I'm tripping. These colors are the same. That's
Yeah.
they're both blue, green, and yellow or whatever it is. They have the Dallas and Minnesota have the same kind of colors in their logo. That's why we keep mixing them up.
I like Dallas though. Dallas got
I felt like last year
a
Dallas might have played
quiet
the
little
toughest schedule
a
of
quiet little
everybody.
who?
I feel like Dallas played the hardest regular season schedule out of everybody last year.
Yeah,
It's like every
yeah.
night I saw them on TV and they were playing, Minnesota, or they were playing Seattle, or they were playing, they were playing a tough team every time I saw them on TV.
Kind of contributed why they were able to get why they had no shade to them why they had the lowest record last year, why they had the
Yeah, they had a rough record.
number
They had a
one
rough,
pick this year. Like Dallas
yeah,
was playing some very great like back to
their
back.
schedule was
Yeah,
rough.
and that was during the Olympic roster
Hmm.
summer too. Like
Yeah,
it was a lot going on last summer in the W. It
a
was a
lot.
lot going on.
And then they lost one of the German sisters, Sabule. She was in Dallas last year, and this year she's in Phoenix. No, she's with the Suns, right?
She with Phoenix with Thomas.
The Mercury.
Phoenix is a whole new team. Phoenix don't even seem real to me right now. Like Phoenix without a BG, without a Diana, like
Hmm.
Phoenix, I don't even know this Phoenix.
Yeah. Jalen's checking in from Seattle. He says real close to Jewel Lloyd, who is phenomenal. Not sure how we got smacked by Mercury without Cooper. And it's still early in the year, man. Still getting to know each other. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's early in the season, man. You can't take too much from these games at this point of the year.
Damn, because
This
Copper
team,
wasn't. What's wrong? Because Copper's injured. I don't even think Copper played Unrivaled. Did she? Copper was
no,
injured.
she didn't play. Yeah,
Kalia.
yeah, she didn't play.
Kalia went to Rutgers. I'm lying. Kalia Copper went to Rutgers. Are you rah rah? Are
Mm,
you rah rah?
you have to Google that one. I don't have that fact for you. Our last little topic tonight. Let's give somebody from our former conference a little bit of love. Um, and in the future we'll have a name for this segment, but tonight we're just going to give some mid-major love to Rashir Fleming at St. Joe's University. He's right now he's at the NBA draft combine trying to get drafted. He's a 6'9" uh, wing player from St. Joe's. He averaged 14.7 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, while shooting 39% from three and 53% from the field. So far, they're saying that he is a raw athlete that has some potential offensively, but his defensive intensity is what people are going crazy about. I always tell kids, man, you want playing time, do it on the defensive end. Get your playing time on the
That's a fact.
defensive end of the floor. And this is a
That's a
perfect
fact.
example of that. This kid is a 6'9" long wing defender who can knock down a three, and he's going to have a chance. They're projecting him to go in the mid first round, which is always huge for us mid major, guys.
On the ladies' side, I'm gonna give mine my shout out to because we already been talking shit. I'm partial and she a big girl. We got the same initials. She played against GW, although I got beef with GW because Jessica Simmons used to me and Jess been going at it since high school.
Well, that's
But shout
another
out,
one. We got to get Jess on here. We
hell
definitely
yeah,
got
we
to
gotta
get
get
Jess
Jess.
on here. Jess might need to be the first person we get on here, to be honest.
To be honest, the first person we need to get on here is VP. To be honest. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Nah, first person need to. So, nah, we keep my baby away from this. We bring her. We keep my baby away from this. Remember that episode of Martin when he put Gina on the radio? We ain't finna do we ain't, we ain't finna do that at all. We ain't finna do
I mean, you be
that.
fussy. Hell nah. Hell nah.
Nah, but Jess is a good one. We definitely can reach out to Jess.
Definitely gotta reach out to Jess. But I'm giving mine to JJ. What's her Jaquil?
Jaquil Jones,
Jaquil Jones.
yeah, the Bohemian Beast.
And she did the commencement speech this year for George Washington. I want to tap in and listen to her commencement speech.
Absolutely.
I'm for that. I'm for that. That
Mhm.
is so dope for women in sports, for us
Mhm.
basketball players. This woman got a champion, and where she's from the Caribbeans or
Yeah, Bahamas.
uh,
From Bahamas. From Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
Come, like I love it. I'm love it. I'm a fan. JJ, you keep busting they head heads out there in the WNBA. You keep showing them what us mid majors can do when we're given an opportunity to shine, to given an opportunity to have a chance to sit at the big tables with them power schools and all that shit. So, yep. So, yep. Mhm.
Right, cool. All right, I think it's about time for us to go ahead and shut this one down. Um, Go ahead and bless these folks with your last words of the morning. Right now, it's 2:15 a.m. for us. We got Jalen checking in from Seattle, so it's only 11 o'clock out there for him. You there?
Cool. So, guys, thank y'all for rocking out with us. Appreciate you, Coach, for let's coming live and doing this again, y'all. Coach, I wasn't throwing nothing in your face. I was just trying to say we got to be in a room, but we
Yeah,
be saying the
I don't,
same thing.
I don't
We
trust you.
just don't be hearing each
I don't
other.
believe you. You threw that shit in my face. You don't watch. You said you don't watch WNBA. That ain't what the fuck I said. I said I don't get a chance to watch it a lot. But I'm gonna make sure
Cause
that
you
I
real
do
life
check
out
it.
here.
I'm in these gyms. Like I said, I was in the gym today. And that's gonna be my. Hey, stay humble, man. Um, Stay humble
In
and
real
watch your
time, change
energy.
lives. In real
Yeah,
time,
yeah. Watch your energy, right? Because
huh?
a lot of people out here. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
stay humble and watch your energy, man. Because there are people out there like myself that will match your energy, right? You come with some negative energy. I'm not the person that's going to turn the other way and let you know. I'm not that. And I'll tell you this too. Make sure you teach your kids values, man. How they're supposed to interact with adults, how they're supposed to talk to adults, how what they're supposed to say, what they're not supposed to say. Because again, I am not for allowing people, children, to treat me like we're the same age. And if that's gonna offend you, when I check your kid, you should probably check them first. So again, keep that energy the way you want to receive energy. Don't be out here giving out bad energy, and then when you receive that bad energy back, trying to go into a shell and play a victim. That's not how it works. What you give, you get. You want people to treat you well, then treat them well, right? Be courteous, and life would be a lot better. Be a lot better. So
All the way
this is
around.
this is your boy Pinnock with my co-host, the amazing Jada Jae. This is Mid-Major Mindset. Stay focused, stay determined, and we'll holler at you next time.
Mm-hmm. Watch the movement, y'all. Follow us everywhere. Mid Major Mindset on all platforms. Mm-hmm.
Hold on, stop. Before we go, we gotta do a better job of this. You gotta give all the people all your socials. Give all the people all your socials. Go ahead and get it to them.
So hey, follow us everywhere on Instagram, TikTok, IG. I said that already. Facebook, Snapchat. I didn't do Snapchat yet. LinkedIn, YouTube. Follow us everywhere. You see the banner down on the bottom of the screen at Mid Major Mindset. That's us everywhere. Follow me personally. You see Jada J spelled that like that. Add the 21. That's me everywhere, everywhere. Jada J 21 on all platforms. I'm easy to find. Like Coach Prime said, we easy to find.
Easy to find. You can find me at on Instagram at Coach JR224. You can also find me at Pinup24 on IG. If you got Facebook, type in the name. I'm on there. Same thing with LinkedIn. You got all of the connects, all the links, and all that for the website. I'm tripping. I'm getting sleepy. You got all of the information for mid-major mindset, man. Let me take my butt to sleep, man. I'm out. Jada J. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Love and
Have a
peace,
good night,
everybody. Later.
Coach. Thank y'all, chat, for rocking out with us.